So I thought I'd make a little behind the scenes video for with a whimper because it took me a very long time to make. So the first thing I did was make the puppet. The puppet itself was pretty simple. It's just a foam ball and paper straws with pipe cleaner, like craft pipe cleaner, and that allowed me to like move the joints however I wanted. It gave it a little bit more flexibility than say if I made a hinge for the elbow because if I couldn't move the shoulder enough, I could move the elbow more so it would look like the shoulder moved more. After that, I made the furniture to scale with him, and then I made the house to scale with him. This is like the picture of everything kind of disassembled before I even glued everything together or painted it. The door was very tricky. I don't know why it was tricky. Like the hinges just didn't want to work. The window was very finicky because after cutting it out, it made the wall very unstable because it's such a big gap. And then even the door, I had to glue a piece of a popsicle stick at the bottom as like a bottom of the door frame to keep it from like wiggling too much. Then this is like the outside where the well is and where the outhouse was. This took me a very long time. I crumpled so much paper and taped it down. I kind of laid the floor. The floor was another thing too. The floor, oh my god. It took me so long because I had to cut all the popsicle sticks down so it would make a straight line down the middle. And the floor was a little wonky, but that was okay because the building was supposed to be super old. So it was supposed to be kind of warped in that. So that kind of worked out. You can see in this picture the railing is different than what it is in the actual animation because it actually kind of got crushed. So I had to change it because it got moved and it got crushed when I was still making it. This is the house put together. Like I glued just I didn't glue the roof to the bottom of the house because then I wouldn't be able to take it apart and record like do the frames that I needed inside. The satellite actually is my favorite part of the whole building. It took a little bit to figure out how to make the dish, but once I did figure that out, it went together pretty quick. And then I had to glue cardboard pieces all the way around the outside and cut them properly so it looked like shingles. Then I also glued cardboard on the bottom of it so it looked like siding. That took a while, but I finally painted it, and you can actually see in this picture there's an outhouse. It didn't really get used very much. I actually originally I wanted him to walk over to the outhouse, look in it, and then walk away, but while I was animating, it just didn't really make sense. I actually made a miniature for that outhouse, and it's in this picture, but somehow I lost it and I couldn't find it. So that never got used, and it wasn't really a big deal. So I didn't make another one. And in the finished product, it would have been behind the main building anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. And this is the base of the waterfall. Now, the way I made these sets, I crumpled a bunch of paper and taped it down to cardstock, like the Bristol board. And then I hot glued for this specifically, cardboard to it and shaped like the ridge. And then I covered it with paper mache, covered it with like 4, 5 layers of paper mache. It ended up working very well, especially even when I put the cardboard underneath in this picture, because I needed a very flat surface to put the building on. And this is a shot of me doing the paper mache for the river. And for this one, I actually had to cut it down the center of the river because I couldn't get a camera angle on it. And this is a picture of before I put all the fake plants on the sets. I did a few tree stumps, and those trees, the way I made the trees is I glued 3 paper straws together and then wrapped it with the same paper I was using for the paper mache, but I crumpled the paper first before I put it on it so it kind of looked like the bark of a tree, and then I painted it, and then I made a bottom that it would slip into so that way if I needed to move the sets, I could just take the trees out and move it. And that worked very well. That was a very good idea. My favorite set was honestly the river because it had the most like variation of plants, especially around the other side, as you can see here, which I didn't actually use very much. I thought I was going to use that other side of the river a lot more, but it really only shows up in maybe 2 shots, and those shots are maybe like 5 seconds each. So this is how I set up the shot where he opens the door. I had to put a light on my laptop and then put my camera on the wood floor, like the popsicles, to be able to get that shot. And I had to put the background behind, like, I had to hang it over the table that I was using because it was just too big. Like, I wanted everything to be in camera. So this is a time lapse of actually animating. This is about maybe 7 hours of work. This took a very long time. Moving the water every single frame was such a hassle, but it was worth it. It looked, I think it looked very good. You can see here, he actually kind of falls over. And that was actually the first time he fell over the whole shoot. During some of the panning shots, I actually bumped the tripod and I had to start them completely over because once you bump the tripod, you lose your angle and it's incredibly difficult to get it back. So I had to completely reset the shot and redo it, which was a big hassle, but at least there wasn't any like actual animation in it, so it was just a pan. The shot where it kind of pans over when he dies under the tree and it pans over to the waterfalls, that was a little bit tricky, but luckily I also didn't have to move that much except for the waterfalls. That was random enough that it was fine. Now this, oh my god, this, I do not recommend this at all. Do not try to put the frames in a computer and do the eyelids. It was the most mind-numbing work I've ever done. I hated it, and I would really only recommend doing this if you're actually doing a 2D animation because it's so much extra work. If you're doing a stop motion, do the blinks in camera so you don't have to worry about it. This time lapse is about 12 hours spread over like 2 days. This was way too much work. Do not do this. That's really all I have. So thank you for watching. This was a very long project. This took me about 3 months, and my next one hopefully won't take as long. So thank you for watching, and watch out for my next ones.